Gather round, those who cower in the shadow of giants. I've a tale for those who cannot yet weave their own. Wonder, adventure, and glory awaits. Rest your weary head, dear listener, as I regale you with my Bard Time stories. When last we left off, after finding a small hilltop village named Terran and meeting with some of the locals in search of work, the party was informed of 2 opportunities for coin by a Shadar Kai named Lucian. They were in search of a fragment of a dead god named Relathis that is rumored to be somewhere north of Lorvale, as well as an entanglement of a local ley line that was making it difficult for the dead to rest. The party encountered a younger man, clad in beautifully made armor that was risen from death, and brought 2 others with him as thralls. After slaying him once more and sending one of the undead creatures running off into the local wilderness, the party split up to chase after the loose zombie and to investigate the local graveyard. While in the graveyard, Freya and Magnus encountered the spirit of Mistress Terran, the matriarch of the Terran family crypt, and did some investigating, while Sax, Mialee, Laverra, and Apollo dealt with the rogue zombie, who had mindlessly marched out of its own skin and looked to be in horrific pain as they finally destroyed it. The party reconvened at the Terran family crypt and quickly stumbled into a hole under a mysterious embalming room, seemingly led to a segment of long-forgotten underground canal. Deciding to seek rest as well as stake out the area, Saxifrage and Freya took shelter and were both eventually woken by a splashing sound in the cistern. Following their curiosity, they came face to face with an undead skeletal figure garbed in a brown cloak, ornate armor, and a silver crown. The being introduced itself as Malaz, but it was revealed that he was a puppet for a very young girl named Elsie, who built Malaz by utilizing her innate powers of necromancy as a surrogate caretaker since she was an orphan. Freya quickly took this young girl under her wing, having seen a figure like her in a dream shortly before, and the party quickly set to taking care of her, though they found difficulty in agreeing on long-term plans for her. Having purchased a disguise for Malaz to help him blend in, the party set off to Lorvale. A lengthy 8-hour trek ahead of them, they finally made it to town and found refuge in the rival pig. While discussing what was to be done with Elsie and Malaz, the discussion became heated, and Magnus stormed out, feeling dejected. So, Magnus, as you storm out of the rival pig, you see Saxifrage and Malaz and Elsie are sat on the front step of it, watching while the rest of the city seems to be waking up for the day. Decorations for the Red Festival are being taken down, or they've been completely taken down already. Unfortunately, Saxifrage will be played by the rest of us, since the player is not here today. But Saxifrage looks at you. Where are you going, Magnus?
Magnus doesn't reply and just continues running.
Oh.
I'll crawl up his ass.
Freya's in the tavern with Mialee, Apollo, and Laverra.
Well, Freya, you guys are best friends, and he's just kind of hurt because you're taking in this new person that you seem to care for a lot, and he just isn't used to it.
So I'm not allowed to take care of other people?
Well, you guys have been together for a really long time, Freya. I'm sure, he just isn't used to not being the center of your attention.
Maybe Magnus is afraid that if you have a friend, he won't have someone's shoulder to ride on.
You guys see Saxifrage open the main doors to the tavern, kind of pushing their way through. What happened? Where is Magnus going?
I don't know. He's going somewhere.
Should we follow him?
Nah. You guys stay here. Watch the girl. I'll be back.
But Freya, maybe you should calm down just a little bit before you go and talk to Magnus.
I am calm.
You
very much are not.
Calm. You kind of sound like a deer that's found a predator.
Oh, what?
You know, when deer find predators, they get a that's what you sound like.
Are you saying that I'm scared of Magnus?
No, you just sound aggressive and a little, over the top, and maybe you should calm down
Yeah,
before
you
you
sound
go
a
and
little...
talk to him.
No, whatever. I'll be back. Just storm off.
So Magnus, where are you headed?
I'm headed to the guild's district.
Okay, and not too far off, you find the pentagonal plaza within Lorvale that seems to shoot off into all the directions you need to find each guild. Any specific one you're going to?
I'm looking for one that, maybe the Knights.
Okay. So, as you approach the kind of ostentatious building of the Knights of Renai, you notice a few signs hanging around the building itself and kind of around the plaza too, posted under the letterhead of the Knights of Renai, essentially. At a glance, it looks like they're looking for a skilled druid or herbalist or something like that to take care of the Blue Garden. So they seem to have been taking heed of your warning beforehand.
Oh, good. They appreciate their kneecaps.
Walking in, you see the kind of central area, the central gathering area within this building is kind of like all the furniture and stuff has been pushed back to open it up for more floor space, and it looks like Jula is in the process of dueling and teaching and sparring with some potentially new recruits wearing some shiny armor, full plate, as well as fully encased helmets. But eventually they stop fighting and Jula takes notice of you.
Hello.
What brings you here?
You know, to take in small children. How do you feel about necromancy?
Well, it's not exactly legal within the walls of Lorvale. I don't know. Why are you asking?
I've got some questions for you. Just trying to do a good deed.
Alright. Is it... And you can see him kind of get lost a little bit in his thoughts, trying to piece some of this together. You found an undead child?
No.
Oh, thank God.
More like the child can raise the dead. She had a #traumatic childhood.
That doesn't make me feel any more comfortable. Where is the... Do you have them with you?
It's a theoretical child.
Okay.
Theoretically.
But... How young?
Like, pretty young. Like, little. I show about my height.
Oh,
It's a human girl, I think.
it's Tiefling.
That doesn't matter.
Oh,
He thinks she's a human girl.
Sure. I'm just making sure the player knew. Alright. I can see what we can do. We're not typically in the business of taking care of children.
Do you know anyone who is?
Not particularly. How did you come into possession of a child?
I didn't. It's theoretical.
Sure.
Thought experiment.
Of course. I'm there. I'm trying to get there with you.
Yep. Listen, she does necromancy as like a soothing thing, you know? Like, people were mean to her, not very nice. She made a protector out of, like, theoretically, out of bits and pieces of things, right?
Okay.
So it's important that I find some place for her to grow this gift, because it's a gift at this point, right? That'd be a prodigy.
Sure, but as I said before, there's no place within the walls of Lorvale for necromancy.
Y'all backwards then, right?
It's just... we tend to... We've had some unfortunate run-ins with those of the practicing sort.
Yeah, sure. The ones who were not, like, born to do it. The ones who, like, grew up and became evil and were evil and did evil things. Sure. But, like, there are some with, like, the innate ability where they're good people still, right? Yeah? Theoretically.
I don't know.
Do you know any place outside of Lorvale?
Seem kind of think.
Maybe like a shrine to the Raven Queen? Maybe not the Raven Queen, maybe like some other queen? Some other god who's like pretty into that stuff?
He crosses his arms. There's no other gods I can think of that look upon necromancy favorably.
They're backwards too, aren't they?
Most just value the order of life and death, especially the Raven Queen, as you said. That her domain is very heavily rooted in keeping dead things dead.
Yes.
So, seeing as how this, of course, was a theoretical discussion,
Sure.
have you need for work, or...
Yeah, sure. What you got? I'm not a druid, so I can't necessarily watch the garden.
Sure, of course. There's that.
But I am glad you took my suggestion.
Of course. We'll take that very seriously.
Make sure it's not a scary druid.
We'll do our best. We are offering payment for it, so hopefully someone will take us up on the offer.
Hopefully.
We do have a couple of jobs available for non-knights, of course. There was an anonymous benefactor has agreed to pay for a messenger of sorts to take a package northeast to a tower at the base of the Grizzblade Mountains. This tower belonging to a dragonborn sorcerer named Xenax. The couriers won't go that way. After an ambush that happened, I want to say 2 years ago now, that left 8 of theirs dead, and they've marked the trail as unsafe since.
They're weak.
Yes, so they have essentially subcontracted the job to us. And we are looking for someone willing to do it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take a package places. About how far away is it? Day, half, 2, week, 7 years?
Closer to 2 days, 2.5, maybe 3.
Alright, you got the package?
Yes, we have it.
Alright. I'll take it.
Whenever you're ready to leave.
Like right now.
Hey.
Like right now.
You plan on guiding the wagon through the city, or are you leaving the city now?
What's the whole wagon? You said a package.
Yes. One package.
Does it have to be on a wagon?
Due to the size, yes.
It's a big package. Got a dragon in there?
No, of course not. Why would you think?
Well, not many packages need to be that big.
But just, if you want to take the job, let us know when you're leaving the city, and we will supply you with the 2 horses that it would take to carry the wagon.
Yeah, like right now.
Alright, the other job that we have, if you're interested, is within the city walls. Well, it's nothing, really. Just a burglar that's been evading the Lorvale Watch for 2 weeks now, and they've turned to us for help.
Maybe I'll deal with that when I get back. But right now I'm kind of running away from my problems, right?
Yes, are you the only... There were more with you before.
Yeah, turns out they're shite friends. Care about little necromancer girl, theoretically, more than me. Told me I'm loud, told me I was the point of all the conflict in the group, right? All of it.
Oh.
Told me it's because I'm loud. Am I loud?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
I don't know, do you like your kneecaps?
Very much so.
Just get the wagon ready, right?
I don't know if it's just you, I don't believe we'd be able to allow that to happen. The package has to make it there safely.
You don't think I can do it? I am a mighty paladin.
Of course, and we have many strong within our ranks as well. Maybe you'd feel more comfortable with some of our knights accompanying you if we can round some up.
Yeah, sure.
All
Just
right.
make it quick.
Sure. So,
I use my robe of eyes to see if there's anybody that I don't necessarily want to meet right now in the vicinity of me.
Sure. Meanwhile, where's Freya headed?
Everywhere, just screaming Magnus' name out. Magnus! What are ya, you little weak seed?
As you're kind of wandering through the city of Lorvale, shouting at the name. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh boy. Ooh, 16.
Okay. You notice about half a block away, there is an older human woman kind of stood precariously on a stool. She seems to be taking down some of the decorations that she had up for the Red Festival. And you notice as you get a couple houses closer, still shouting Magnus's name, the stool underneath her buckles and breaks, and she comes tumbling down hard.
Oh, can I try and catch her? Am I close enough to try and catch her?
Go ahead and make a dexterity check to see if you can react fast enough to this.
Don't fail me now, die. That's the wrong die.
Yeah, I hope if you rolled a d20 instead of a d12.
It's a practice roll, and it's not good, so... Oh, there we go. 19.
19? So, from the distance you saw this stool begin to buckle and break underneath her. You rush over to her. You're able to catch her as she's falling. She basically falls right on top of you. Just the momentum of the fall bringing both of you to the ground. And as you clatter to the ground, you can see her slightly weaker form seems to have kind of cracked as she catches herself with her hands on the ground. Just her hands kind of extending past you as you're just underneath her to pad the blow. And you can hear a snap.
Oh, are you alright? Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine. Thank you so much for being there.
No worries. You need to see a doctor. How's that?
No, I'm sure it's fine.
No.
And you can see it's already a little bit bruised. The bone in the wrist itself seems to have just kind of popped out of place. It doesn't seem like it's a full fracture. You've stopped it from breaking entirely by catching her. But it does look pretty rough. She's just kind of grasping it and holding it in place. I'll be fine. I've got things to... I can patch myself up.
No. Are you a doctor?
Are you?
No, but I can take it to one.
I don't know if I'll be able to take down all the rest of the decorations. She kind of looks at you and you can see her big blue eyes just pleading. Could you help me?
Well, you see, I have to find someone, right?
If it's too much, I'm sure I can. I have another hand at least. I can take care of it. Thank you, though.
Just sit down before you hurt yourself again. I'll do it. If you see a little mouse, human shaped, do not call her that. He is a wee seed named Magnus. You see it? Let me know.
Okay.
I take the stuff down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you can see she goes back inside her home, and you can see she grabs some rags and kind of bandages herself up so that she can take the pressure off of her wrist. As you continue to help this woman take down her decorations. Meanwhile, Laverra, Saxifrage, and Mialee, what would you guys like to do?
I guess Mialee's kind of eyeing Elsie a little nervous. Not like fully separating herself, but she's kind of like not sure if she wants to go after Magnus as well or if she wants to stay. So she's basically just pacing there, confused.
Alright.
Kind of pulling on ears as she does so.
Malaz, who has just kind of stood up and stopped, you can see he was in the process of just throwing small rocks into the street, trying to hit some of the people across the way. Comes back into the tavern. What are we going to do? Do we live here now?
Laverra doesn't... She's also trying to let everything, sink in. And she's, furiously, not, aggressively, but, a lot, petting Apollo. Trying to calm herself down because she doesn't know what's going to happen. she doesn't know, like, what's going on exactly. She just knows that Freya's mad and Magnus is mad, and they're all fighting over Elsie, who's a necromancer like her, and she's just upset.
You can see Elsie kind of tug at the hand of Malaz and grab the skeletal hand pretty tightly. The city's really big. Can I go up to the room?
Yeah, Elsie. Yeah, you can go up to the room. Do you want me to go with you, or can you go up by yourself?
I'll be all right. I just there's a lot going on here, and it seems as ever since we got here, everyone's been real mad.
I know, sweetheart. Just go up to the room, okay?
And she kind of pulls Malaz along and goes upstairs and back up into the room that you had rented out of the Rebel Pig. A few minutes later, you guys watch as the doors of the Rebel Pig open up again, and in walk 3 heavily armored city guards. About 6 feet tall, wearing full plate armor and full helms encasing their faces. They look around the establishment for a second until their eyes rest on you, Laverra. The other two looking at Saxifrage and Mialee. You there?
Yes, sir.
Where are your companions?
Which ones? Mialee's my companion, and so is Sax.
And her bestest companion?
The tall one with the cloak.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Who will make a deception check?
Big oof. It's big oof hours. 17.
And his eyes kind of narrow at you, and you can barely see him through this kind of slit in the visor of the helmet. We've heard reports that there's a group of mercenaries traveling with something unnatural.
So, Mia's gonna raise her hand at the question, kind of waiting for the guard to call on her.
Do you have information?
Well, I don't have information, but, well, I have a lot of information, but, the word mercenary mean.
Mercenary is someone who takes contracts for pay.
And what does the word contract mean?
I don't have time for this. Either you know
Or you don't.
or you do not.
She genuinely doesn't know what a contract is. I love it.
That's why I'm not having to roll a deception check. That just seems genuine. But his eyes kind of narrow at you and Apollo. If you see anything, by law you have to let us know.
Yes, sir.
And you. And he looks at you, Mialee. How old are you?
14. I think.
He kind of quickly turns back to Laverra and Saxifrage. Saxifrage. Don't you think it's a little irresponsible to have someone so young in a tavern?
She doesn't drink. I'm only a little bit older than her, so.
So you're both underage.
But we aren't drinking anything, so it's not illegal. We just wanted to spend the night here. It would be more illegal if somebody let her have a drink. Now wouldn't it, sir?
It's not my place, but most people your age and her age should be at home. Not traveling.
I'm trying to get home. That's the whole point.
Yeah, she lost her home, and I was kicked out of my home, so.
I didn't ask for your life stories. Thank you, though. I'm just saying, it's somewhere safer. And maybe stop traveling with unsavory companions. And the guards leave.
Mia's gonna lean towards Laverra and kind of whisper, I don't like this man. He's not nice.
No, they weren't very nice, and I think they insulted Saxifrage.
That's even worse, sir.
I don't feel insulted, but you're probably right. So, Magnus, you have been at the Knights of Renai for a while now, as they gather up and prepare the wagon with 2 horses. Do you want to describe the 2 horses and name them?
Oh man. One of them is cream colored with braided mane. And his name? It's a boy. His name is Chaco. Like the sandals that everybody wears in Colorado.
Okay. Chaco?
I think that's how you spell Chaco here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Josio?
Sure.
Who knows? It's a sandal, but everybody's obsessed about it. And then the other horse is a female named Kid. And it's just a brown horse.
Is it named after Billy the Kid?
I don't know, I didn't name it.
Alright.
Okay.
So the knights begin loading up Chaco and Kid, and, attaching them to, I don't know wagon words, like the bridle and whatever. They attach it to the wagon, and you can see the wagon itself is a pretty large covered wagon with a seat near the front so you can drive the horses. A little bit of room in the back for personal belongings and party members, essentially. But loaded into the back is this kind of ovular-shaped object covered in a tan-brown cloth. It almost looks like a giant egg covered in a cloth. You see Jula kind of rounding up some of the knights around the building, kind of demanding certain ones to be part of this trek. You see he's got 4 fresh faces available for you. So, you've got a tiefling male.
His name is also Chaco.
It is not.
This is why you don't let me do things.
If I'm describing him, his name is not Chaco.
Alright,
It's
name
Chaco.
is not Chaco. Is that like Notchaco?
We're not doing this.
Or is it like Notch space Akko? Not Akko?
Hey, Mako.
You done?
No. What's his name?
His name is Malpheus.
Not as good.
There's a halfling male. His name is Neff.
Nifset.
There's a dwarf named Glint.
Boy or girl? Or
Male,
other?
they are all male.
Lame.
And then a human named, let's see.
Chaco.
A human named Marcus.
We call him all Chaco.
But they're all very young, clean-shaven. The majority of them are bald and just kind of fresh-faced. But they defer to you.
Sup? Dogs?
One of them kind of gives a slight bow. Not really sure how to address you. But you're the leader of the expedition, right?
Yeah. Let's go. On our way.
We're leaving now.
Like right now.
Can I grab my things?
I mean, you better.
Alright. And he runs off. Eventually they all come back down with a single bag each and then load it up into the wagon.
Do you even know how to drive? I don't much like driving.
Glint looks at you. Yeah, I can drive.
Cool. I'm gonna ride on top. It's where I can see everything. I don't know if I can trust any of you eagle eyes.
Alright, I won't question it.
Magnus flips his way onto the top.
Okay. So, Freya, we'll go back to you. Helping this poor older woman bring down her decorations for the Red Festival. You're so strong and wonderful for helping me so much. Thank you. I haven't seen a human mouse, person, tree, or whatever it was you were looking for yet.
It's alright.
Are they important to you?
Even though they're being a real turd, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully you can reunite with them.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where he could have gone?
Yeah. Probably to somewhere where there's trees.
Well, there's plenty of those outside of the city walls.
That's the problem. There's too many damn trees.
Well, you're about finished, and I can't ask more of you. Would you like to come in for some tea?
Oh no time for that. He's probably.
Oh,
fine.
I'll pour some into a cup for you so you can have it on your way.
Alright. Well, thank you.
She wanders back into the house, and you notice this time she leaves the door slightly ajar. Make a perception check.
Can't get too good at perception checks. This is. Oh.
You got this.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's a 4.
4? Okay. A little bit later, she comes out with a clay cup on a clay saucer. Brings it out to you, and it's piping hot. This brown liquid. Here you are. Thank you so much again for everything you've done.
Aye. It's like small, so I'm just like trying to not break it. My big hands just.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I know. Don't fail me now. Bruce, 14.
14. Laverra, Mialee, and Saxifrage, what are you guys doing?
Good. So Laverra's just kind of chatting with the two of them.
With me and Sax?
Yeah. And she's still furiously petting Apollo, but not as aggressive or not as fast as she was. Now that her anxiety's kind of calmed down.
Sure. You guys still in the tavern, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mia, what about if we brought, I don't know how good of a idea this is, but what if we brought Elsie back to my village where I grew up?
I mean, do you think that's a good idea? I know you didn't like them very much.
I liked the village. They didn't like me there after what I did. But
That sounds ominous. Saxifrage pipes up. What did you do?
I was training with somebody who was teaching me how necromancy works, and then he left for a minute. And I was curious, so I started looking around, and I touched something that I wasn't supposed to. And that's why I have the demon that the cat, the hiss that only me and Mialee can see.
Oh. I thought you, killed somebody or something.
Well, no. But they feared that I could because of what I did. So they kicked me out.
Because they weren't nice.
Do you know where it is?
I'm sure I could recall my way back there, but I don't think I would be allowed back in there.
Mialee, do you have any ideas?
I mean, it's not a bad idea to take her to maybe where Laverra learned, but that could be a long journey, and I don't know if I want to be around her friend very long. He makes me uncomfortable.
Mialee, you have to understand that Malaz is kind of like how Apollo is to me. He's like a comfort to Elsie, because when she was alone, that's all that she had.
But Apollo is a puppy, and he is not a puppy.
Yeah, but they act as the same. Like remember when you were alone? Didn't you want somebody to be there to comfort you, Mialee?
So, what you're saying is Malaz is kind of like what the Wyldmother became for me?
Exactly, Mialee.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's... I won't have to hold his hand at all, will I?
No.
Even if he gets scared?
Yes. Elsie will hold his hand. I'll hold your hand, Mialee.
Okay, but you promise you'll hold my hand?
Yes. Me and only me.
Sorry. Okay. I guess I'd be okay with taking her to your village. If you really think they can help her there.
I think so. But we need to find Freya and Magnus, because they're part of our team too. And I feel like Magnus wouldn't be as upset if he knew this idea.
I agree. Especially because when Magnus gets mad, he gets loud. And then he gets angry because people point out.
Maybe don't point it out. That seems like something that not many would like to hear. Like how if we pointed out your negative traits to you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So where should we go to try and find Freya and Magnus?
Freya, I think, would be a little bit more easy to find, because she's probably in the town square.
She is larger than Magnus for sure.
Absolutely, yes.
So just in a simple visual range, she would be easier to spot amongst a crowd.
Yes.
So you guys going out into the village, okay, into the town to look for Freya.
We're going on a mouse hunt.
Perfect. So,
Well, a tiefling hunt first, but then a mouse hunt.
Freya, let's get back to you for a second. You start to feel a little faint from even the small sip of tea that you had. You kind of start to sway a little bit, struggling to stay on your feet. The old woman looks up at you. You look sleepy. Do you need to take a nap?
I look at her, just like my body just swinging back and forth, and just like, you old hat, and then pull down.
Freya's about to lose a kidney.
So, as you fall unconscious, everything just becomes black. Mialee, Saxifrage, and Laverra, I'd like you guys, as you're kind of walking through the town, to go ahead and roll investigation checks.
It's okay, guys. She's like a scrawny old lady, and I'm just this huge tiefling.
That's what she makes me think.
I always get optimistic, and then I remember I have a negative modifier.
That's why you're
And
so...
investigation for me.
I have a 12.
What was yours, Mia? Sorry, you're cut out.
8.
Oof. And would you like to roll for Sax?
9.
9.
Goodbye, guys.
Okay. So, Magnus, you have a wagon at your disposal. You have your 2 horses loaded up. The fellow knights have loaded up their belongings and taken the helm at your command. Do you leave the city, or...?
Yep.
Okay. So, make a perception check as you're leaving the city.
This map sure does like 7 today. Or this die sure does like 7
Don't
today.
you have your cloak that does something?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm just saying the die like 7s. 13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On your way out, you actually spot Saxifrage, Laverra, Apollo, and Mialee kind of wandering around the central area of the kind of pentagonal plaza of the city.
Okay.
So.
Considering I'm actively avoiding them, I'm gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm. Just letting you know you saw them, but it doesn't appear they've seen you.
Okay.
After a while, Freya, time is just something that eludes you entirely. You have no idea how long you've been out. But you come to, and you seem to be inside this older woman's house. You're not restrained in any way. You actually find yourself on a relatively comfortable padded chair with a kind of throw pillow stuffed behind your head.
I'm not tied down in any way, you
Nope.
said? Okay. What the hell is going on? God. What am I? Oh, please don't tell me this happened again. Oh no bars. Alright, that's good.
You look around. This house that you're in seems pretty sparsely furnished. Aside from the chair that you're in at the moment, you see one other kind of rickety wooden chair. And you see a table with a candle set atop it, but outside of that, nothing that really denotes that this place really has any other comfortable furnishings or anything like that. A few smaller decorations here and there, but nothing too decorated or too furnished about it. And you don't see the old woman anywhere.
Do I have my hammer on me?
You do.
Alright.
Where do you keep your gold?
Oh. And a coin purse?
Just on your kind of side?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gone.
It's still there, but it feels noticeably lighter.
Oh. Son of a... How much did I lose?
You find yourself down 30 gold pieces.
Hey. This is what you get. Freya, try to help an old lady and she steals from you. Last time I ever do that. Again.
The door of the house is still wide open, too.
Is this you in her house? Probably. You know, I'd probably just get out of here before somebody shows up and starts asking questions.
Go ahead and make a perception check. One final one for you. And then you die.
8.
8. Okay. So, leaving the homestead that you were in, and kind of looking around, still struggling to get your bearings within the city, you do notice, probably about a block or so away from you, the form of a large Warforged, an Aarakocra, and a taller Firbolg, as well as a very large wolf, kind of walking around, wandering, seemingly searching for something.
Okay, so do I not recognize
You do.
Okay.
Yeah. You know who they are.
Okay.
Exact
I was
features.
really thrown off by that too.
Exact features are hard to determine at a distance like that, but
DM wanted to be cryptic, let's be real.
sure.
I'm joking.
But like, there's not going to be another party of that kind of same makeup in the town. So yeah, Freya puts 2 and 2 together. That's your party.
Gingerbread.
Yeah, gingerbread of our group. That'd be weird. Alright, I run up to them. Or
Sure, yeah. The city streets aren't too crowded at the moment, so you're able to kind of reunite with them pretty quickly.
Freya, have you found Magnus yet?
No, I haven't found Magnus.
I told you to calm down.
Definitely, like, I just got robbed.
What?
And also just...
Mia, like, starts, like, patting Freya, like, are you hurt? Are you hurt? Do you need help?
I'm fine now. She drugged me and it... Then... just don't help old ladies anymore. Can't trust them.
Okay. Mia, like, stores this in her memory for now.
Therefore, penchant, have you two able to, right, you three, able to find Magnus?
I'm afraid not. We haven't. We just left the tavern not too long ago. We thought of a plan.
Oh, what? What's going on?
Well, we
Well,
were.
there were some mean guards there, first of all. They were looking for Elsie and her friend. Her friend.
Yeah, they were very mean. They insulted Saxifrage, I think.
They did!
Oh, hang on. The guards were looking for Elsie?
What, her friend?
They were looking for Malaws.
And, what is Elsie?
She's in the tavern with Malaws.
By herself.
With Malaws.
With Melora.
He looks like a grown-up. He can take care of her.
She's been alone with Malaws for who knows how long, Freya. She's fine.
In the city.
In the tavern.
While there's guards looking for her?
They're not gonna bust into every room.
And to be fair, they're not looking for her. They're looking for her friend. And every time Mia says friend, she makes air quotes.
So, the guards are looking for Malaz, who she is with by herself?
When you put it that way, it seems that may not have been the best course of action.
But it wouldn't have been the best course of action to take them with, because they're still looking for Malaz.
What if you could have waited with her? That's what I'm getting at.
But we have a plan that needs action.
Yes. Where is Magnus?
I don't know. I was just drugged.
And you judge us for our bad decisions.
I was helping an old lady.
Yes. You got robbed by an old lady, and we left a poor orphan girl all by herself in a city that is unfamiliar. We both did bad things.
No.
Yeah, that's what happened. Sax is right. You broke it down, Bish.
They do not equal. Alright, let's get back to Ellie.
Elsie.
Alright, let's make sure she's okay. Leave somebody to watch her. Just in case, I don't know, she decides to walk out and then the guard sees her and, take her away for doing...
So you guys are headed back to the Rattle Pig?
Yeah.
Okay. Not too far off. Neither of you were able to get very far, unfortunately. You guys do notice as you approach the Rattle Pig, a parchment kind of jammed up onto the wall of the establishment, close to the front door. It seems to be embedded with like a broken off crossbow or arrow. Crossbow bolt or arrow, you can't really tell. But as you walk up to it, you notice it is Well, it's this.
Read it aloud first.
That's not ominous at all.
It is a
I love
message.
how to
Wanted, need help. Adventure, big loot, go to behind rival, pig alone. What the heck?
In a kind of poorly scrawled message. Yeah, it seems to read, wanted, need help, adventure, big loot, go to behind rival pig alone. Some of the letters are seemingly backwards and some of the words are, well, the majority of the words are spelled wrong. But
I didn't write that. I can't write, remember?
Yeah, I didn't figure you wrote it because it wasn't here before we left, Mialee.
And I don't feel like being drugged twice today, so I scramble it up and toss it.
alright, so you guys make your way back up to the room where Elsie and Malaz are.
Yeah.
Okay. That is actually where we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
It's break time.
Break time. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, and if you would, please go ahead and give us a follow on all social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, all the places so that we can always be in contact with you. And thank you again for listening. And now, on with the show. So, as Mialee, Saxifrage, Laverra, and Freya make their way back to the Rabble Pig and up to the room that they had stayed in, you guys hear behind the door Elsie just kind of quietly talking to Malaz. The bits of conversation you overhear. I just don't know what a festival is. Malaz, do you? I have no idea. Maybe we can ask the others when they return. You guys enter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bust down the door.
You don't have to bust down the door. It opens without problem. You do kind of startle Elsie and Malaz a little bit, but
Thank goodness.
once they see it's you, they kind of soften back up. Did you find the other guy?
No.
Oh. If I'm too much trouble, I can leave.
No, you're... No.
It's okay. I'll be fine.
Freya, we have an idea, but you didn't want to listen to that earlier, and you were all running off. So, do you want to hear that now?
Sure, Laverra.
Alright. So, you know how I'm a necromancer, right?
Alright.
And I was raised in a village, and they had a necromancer that taught me. I was thinking that maybe we could take her there. I personally think that would be the best place to be.
What is this place?
It's down by it's down by Monkirk. So we could go down that way.
How many days is that?
Make a survival check. Or a history, whichever you prefer.
What was my history? No, definitely you're in survival. 19.
19? Okay. You know it is in the southwest region of the Moonwilds. It's kind of the other major city within the Moonwilds. But it is across a very large river. And it is probably 2 to 3 weeks away by horse. It'll be further by foot.
It's 3 weeks away.
But I think it would be best for her.
Did they treat you well?
Well, yeah, but they treated me well before I did the thing.
What thing?
I touched something I wasn't supposed to, and now I have the demon cat, the hiss, that you and Magnus don't think is real.
So you got kicked out because you touched a thing you weren't supposed to? Because she touched things she wasn't supposed to, but now she has a friend.
But now we can tell her that she needs to be very careful about what she touches.
You guys see Elsie and Malaz are dropping small objects out of the window in the room. Into the street below, just kind of casually tossing them.
Elsie, stop that. They're gonna hit somebody. Then they're gonna get mad and they're gonna come up here and I don't want to hear about it.
It's fun. And Malaz kind of turns and cocks his head at you. Yeah, it's fun.
Let them have their fun, Freya.
You really want them to toss rocks out, hit a guard, and have a guard come up here.
Well, make sure they don't hit a guard. I'm pretty sure they know what guards look like. Do you guys know what guards look like?
Elsie just kind of shrugs.
They kind of have, like, what Freya has on, but, like, way shinier. And they also have a helmet that covers their face.
My helmet's fine. It's shiny.
But it's not as shiny as theirs.
She kind of looks out the window. Like those guys over there? You look and you see a troop of about 6 guards, kind of seemingly making their way, not down the alley that this window faces, but kind of across.
Yeah, like those guys.
I
Going around to the front of the building.
Are they... How much do you want to bet they're coming in here?
I don't think they are, Freya. I think you're just a little scared cat.
Alright, let's hope so.
And if they are, then, like, we could just, like, hide in the lodge or something.
I'm a lost where?
Laverra kind of points into the bed.
I swear. You don't think that'll be like the first thing they'll check?
He could hide in the bed frame. He's a skeleton.
Yes. Either way, let's stop throwing rocks out the window.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys can throw rocks out the window, just don't tell Freya.
I'm right here. Shh.
Okay.
Just don't hit any guards.
Don't hit anybody, please.
She just kind of sits, cross-legged on the bed.
Yeah. Either way, right, okay. You swear in your life that this teacher of yours will take care of her?
Yeah, he took care of me. They only kicked me out because they thought I was dangerous. But do I look dangerous?
I think back at all the times you hit us with your spells.
She didn't mean to. We were just kind of in the way.
That was only whenever I did the big screech. It wasn't like I hit you all the time. Name one time I've cast infestation on you and you got bugs all over you. Exactly.
Yet.
If you make me mad, maybe.
Alright. Well,
Do you have any other suggestions, Freya, for what to do with her? Because I don't agree with the way Magnus expressed himself. but I don't think she can stay with us forever.
Nah.
And you still like Magnus, don't you?
Aye.
So, don't you want him back, even just a little bit?
He's a third, which is... Aye, I guess. Alright, we'll take her to your teacher, then go on merry ways, back to normal. One of us should stay here, the rest should go. Let's go find Magnus, tell her what we're doing.
Him.
If one of us is to stay here, I vote Saxifrage.
Yeah, I agree. Saxifrage is the most responsible right now.
Yes, I will stay here.
Alright.
So you guys leave the room and head down to the main area of the rival pig.
Yeah, and as we walk down, Mia quietly tells Laverra, I just thought Saxifrage should stay because she's they're the second tallest.
Oh, that makes sense too.
What are you two yammering about?
I don't know what that word means, but I was just talking to Laverra.
We were talking about how you're only the third tallest.
Aye! What's that supposed to mean?
I didn't say that, she did.
You guys notice as you're heading down, you see the front door kind of swing open. And another... a guard comes in wearing the same armor that you'd seen before, though this one looks significantly shorter and kind of squatter. You imagine this one's more likely a dwarf underneath the armor. You.
Me?
Any of you.
Yes, sir.
We're looking for an old woman. Have you seen anything suspicious?
Oh yeah, actually. She just drugged me and stole some of my money.
Where was this? You can see him pull out a quill and a pad to kind of write down on.
I take him outside and point down the street. Right there, I was taking down decorations for her. She said she was taking them down. She hurt herself, so I was being a good Samaritan and trying to help the old lady out.
Alright. Thank you for your time.
Then she drugged me, and then I woke up inside, and she stole 30 gold from me.
Alright. You seem pretty capable, but I guess things can happen. Have you seen a burglar around lately?
No.
Anybody sneaking around the houses suspiciously? Alright, that's fine, that's unrelated. Just going around taking statements. Another thing, have you seen a really tall skeleton anywhere?
I mean, I have a really tall skeleton, but it's inside.
It's inside the tavern?
She's talking about inside.
Inside of her.
Mialee. I love Mialee.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank
that's not quite what we're talking about, sweetheart.
Those are the only skeletons we know of.
Make a deception check.
That is a 16.
Okay. Alright. And he puts the pad and the quill away. So, it's a mighty big hammer you got. What are you doing here? Aside from getting robbed by old ladies.
It's none of your damn business.
Alright, I was just trying to be friendly. He kind of walks off with a huff.
This guy just asking about hammers.
He was just trying to be friendly.
He was being nice, Freya. You don't have to take everything to heart.
And he liked your hammer. He's the only one of us who does.
Well, hang on.
Your hammer kind of scares me sometimes.
Yeah, alright, today is just... too long, let's just find Magnus.
Sure. Where do you guys go?
Yes. Just start going to... I guess I'll go to the guild seeing if he showed up. He showed up there.
Sure. Which guild hall?
Which one's the closest?
They're all in the same kind of pentagonal plaza. They're going to be equidistant from you.
I mean, I would think either the Knights of Night, because he kept mentioning them yesterday when he was mad, whenever it was that he was mad, or maybe the Lore Weavers, because they're really funny.
Well, let's go to the Knights.
Yeah, I don't think he's in a very fun mood right now, Mialee.
So as you guys walk into the guild hall of the knights, you see many of them are in there. They're mostly geared down at this point. Some of them are wearing some greaves, but not a lot of them are wearing the top plates of their armor or anything. A lot of them are just kind of sat relaxing on some of the couches that they have in there. But you are met by Jula. He is completely out of his armor. He's wearing nothing but his general fatigues. Is there something we can do for you?
Yeah, have you seen a little VC walking around here? Magnus goes by the name Magnus.
Yes.
Oh, you have?
Sure.
Where did he go? Where is he?
I am not at liberty to say.
Yeah, he specifically told me to tell you to just shove your shoes right in your nose. He told me about all of you for like a whole hour while we were getting the knights rounded up. Y'all are terrible.
Who's that?
You see before you a little goblin who is probably around the same height as Magnus, probably just about 3 foot tall, so he's about half a foot taller. He's definitely got the green skin and yellow eyes. He is decked out in knight's armor, so you assume that he is one of the knights. He's got all of his ears pierced up and down, and he's got a nice scar over his left eye.
Laverra starts to tear up, and she's very sad that she was just insulted.
Ah, yes. Would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kill. Magnus came to me while he was waiting because you guys, first of all, he could trust me because we're both short. And I get that. There's like a bond there. But on the real, I get it. He feels so alone. He doesn't really remember his past besides you guys and Freya. I assume the big red one is Freya. And y'all are awful. Just saying. So he peaced out and he specifically told us not to tell you, any of you, where he was.
Laverra starts crying because she was just insulted again.
Please, hold yourself together.
I'm gonna grab this little goblin and shove him up
You can try.
You will do no such thing in the Hall of the Changebringer.
Well then, that little goblin better keep its mouth shut before I tear her tongue out.
I'm a gentleman, sir.
Sorry, you're too damn ugly to tell what you are.
I don't feel like your standards of beauty reflect my kind. I get if you don't find me attractive, I don't particularly like you or your personality. But, like, dang.
So, is there anything else we can help you with?
So you're just not can tell us what Magnus.
I was specifically told that if I favored my kneecaps, I would keep my mouth shut.
Classic Magnus.
Alright. Let me make you a new offer. If you value your kneecaps, your arms, and every single bone in your body, you should tell me where Magnus is.
You're just like he described you.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, 25.
You see him kind of jump back a little bit.
That's not 22.
Nice. You can see the sweat kind of gather on his brow as he looks at you. He is on a job for us. He's taken a party of our own, and he should be back in a few days.
Alright, where are they going? Just tell me where they're going, we'll go find him.
He's like well outside the city by now. Y'all waited a long time to come here.
Destination. I'm talking about destination.
I like that way. He nods in a direction.
To the north. Northeast, specifically. Without proper guidance, you would be lost on your way.
Well, then give us a map. I don't care.
He's at least a day out by now.
There's no map of the region.
What is he even doing out there? He's not going to like a town?
No, he's not. He's going to what many would consider an abandoned tower, but we know better.
Oh, so there is a destination, like a physical.
Yes.
It's not just like randomly in the woods.
We didn't send him off into the ethereal plane out to the north. No, we sent him to a destination to complete a job for us.
Thank you.
The ethereal plane would have been cool, though.
Yes, it would. I'm not even sure if we have anyone left here that would know the way. Kill, do you happen to know the way?
Yeah, I know the way.
Oh dear God, no.
It seems you have a choice. Either wait for your friend, or you can pursue him with the help of Kill here. I'm sure there's plenty
This is
of
the
work.
hardest decision I've ever made in my life.
I'm sure there's plenty of work around town that you can do to get your gold and sate your appetite until he returns.
If he returns.
As long as he doesn't insult me anymore, I don't think I have a problem with him.
It's not an insult if it's just what you are.
I think I might be going to jail tonight.
I don't think you are, Freya. Well,
Look.
Fuck off, dude.
I mean, I guess maybe if he isn't as mean and maybe not as loud,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys always complaining about the loud. That's definitely an issue.
Well, I personally think you're a lot louder than Magnus.
Sure. I personally think y'all are garbage people, so I don't
All
really
right,
want
that's
to
it.
help you in the first place.
I am gonna grab this goblin.
He draws his battle axe.
Can Mia try
Very
and
great
stop
axe.
him? Or her?
Can I also try and stop Freya?
So how we handle things like that is we don't roll for any of that shit. So just because that can just get to a point where someone's locked out of doing things. So as Freya goes to grab Kill by the neck. Kill, you pull out your battle axe. And you are pretty immediately restrained by both Laverra and Mialee.
Let go! Let me at him! I'm gonna kill that little goblin!
I know, but
Sure.
he's so small. It wouldn't be fair. It'd be like stepping on a mushroom.
I don't care!
Yeah, it'd be like killing your only hope of finding your friend.
Jula puts his
But that
arms.
too. But we don't want to make enemies here because what if they don't like your boyfriend?
Jula puts his arms behind his back. Kill, put your weapon away in the hall of the Changebringer.
Yeah, whatever.
We're not sparring, and you will calm down, or you will leave.
Get off me, you two. I'm leaving. I'm done with this.
Alright. And as for the rest of you, you're going to take Kill up on his offer, or are you going to leave as well?
Laverra kind of looks at Mialee, and she's like, I really want to find Magnus.
I do too, so as long as Kill can please be nice, pretty please.
Especially to Freya.
Especially
I have
Freya, because
literally
Freya
heard-
has tender feelings.
I have literally heard nothing but awful things about you guys, as far as I'm concerned, and then you come in here, and then you're really rude still. As far as I'm concerned, you're the ones not being nice.
How have
You're
I been
literally going
rude?
to make me. You're literally going to make me cry.
You
Yeah.
literally made me cry.
Because you can't handle the truth of what you did to somebody that you care about?
I didn't do anything to him.
Uh-huh, that's what he said, definitely. That's why he ran off, because you said you didn't do
I
anything
just
to
don't
him.
like hearing it from you.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm headed up that way to join their party anyway, because I wasn't here yesterday when they were rounding things out.
That was this morning.
This morning when they were rounding things out. But, I'm headed that way because, like, I like the dude who lives up there. He's a pretty cool guy. Like, between me, I've pretty much gone up there on my own, even though it's, like, a total no-go. Because I've got to know my own way. I visit him, like, sometimes.
So, I guess Mialee, we're taking him with us to go up there.
Taking him with you? I'm going up on my own, like, this evening. Y'all can
Okay.
follow if you want.
Yeah, so you go up here on your own, and we'll go up too in the same direction as you, but we won't be with you. Is that okay?
I don't care what you do. I'm going from this gate, this northern gate, at, I don't know, like 5, 6. Y'all can join me
Okay,
if
so
you
Northern
want.
Gate at 5. We will not meet you at 5.
Sure thing.
Okay, do you like snacks?
I don't need your snacks, thanks.
If you did like snacks, what kind would you want?
I am a sweetie. I am like a real cook. I cook real things. I don't need snacks.
Okay, I like apples.
Okay.
Freya, as you're leaving the establishment, you look across the way and you can see as the afternoon kind of wears on, that people in the city are just kind of in their general hustle. They're not moving in a particularly large crowd or anything, but there are a few more people in the area than there were before. And you do notice in front of the kind of blackened building, spewing the smoke out of the top of the smokestacks, known as the Heartforge. You can see, standing outside of it, kind of repainting some of the letters on the signage, is a Warforged. Kind of a little more slender in shape than Saxifrage, and all of its inorganic panels seem to be painted red. But that is pretty much the only thing out of the ordinary that you notice as you're heading out of the Knight's building.
Alright.
Do the rest of you guys follow out?
Yeah, after we make that agreement with
As
Cal.
a yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right now, I am charging off
Okay. Where are you headed?
to the nearest bar.
Okay, the nearest one is probably, let's see. Well, you got a couple options actually. Let's see, I think it's give me just a second. The Silver Merchant is fairly close by,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a block or two away. But you know that the Pursuit of the Hawk works out of a repurposed tavern, so they may also have drinks. And they're right within the plaza.
The first one was called Silver what?
Silver Merchant, it's where you fought before.
I'm going there.
Okay. You head in there. You don't recognize any of the faces in here. Mainly because the last time you were in here, you were so drunk and fighting that you didn't really care so much. But you do see that behind the counter, behind the bar itself, is an ogre. A very large humanoid form. Kind of looks at you, its lower jaw a little bit displaced from the rest of its face. What do you want?
I slammed down 20 gold. What can this get me?
Reaches up to the top shelf of this entire rack where they've got the kegs.
Uh-huh.
And pulls down 2 full barrels. Good stuff. Get drunk.
Oh, that sounds
You
wonderful.
want a room?
Nah. Just open and just start drinking.
Okay.
You can grab a mug and
Just kind of dip it
Yeah.
in and slam it. Yeah, you've got basically you sat at one stool and you've got 2 barrels on either side of you, or a barrel on either side of you, taking up a lot of room at the bar. What the rest of you guys doing? You see Freya storm off in that direction.
Laverra looks at Mialee, and she's like, "Do you want to go get snacks for the trip? We could go.
Yeah.
We could go by the Silver Merchant, where I think Freya went. That's probably in that direction."
Yeah, let's go get a lot of apples.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're eventually somewhat joined by Laverra and Mialee, and Apollo kind of sniffing the air around you, wondering. You guys enter the establishment, and you two see Freya at the bar with her 2 giant barrels, and the ogre behind the counter. But you now see a it looks like a child, but as you get closer you notice it's probably a full-grown halfling male, just a little bit smaller than usual, sat on the ogre's shoulder. And it kind of slides down the ogre's arm to greet you guys. Are you with her?
Yeah, we are.
I kind of figured with all the weapons and the wolf and all of the weird stuff that you have. She already bought 2 barrels. Is she going to share with you, or is there something else you wanted?
Do you have any apples?
Not usually what we serve here, or what we specialize in, but yeah.
How many do you have?
As many as you want, I think.
Laverra looks at Mialee and she's like, how many do you want?
I mean, I've got a couple bags.
Mia's gonna count on her fingers. This many. She holds up 10 fingers.
Alright, so a sack of apples. Anything else? Like a drink or anything, maybe?
Can I get a bowl of water for Apollo?
Sure, of course. And the smaller gentleman kind of rushes off to behind the counter and behind the kitchen area. Eventually comes back out with a bag full of apples and a small clay dish full of fresh water for your wolf. That'll run you like 1 gold.
Alright.
So yeah, you've got some apples. Freya's deep in her cups by now. What are you guys doing?
Freya, don't get too drunk.
I just... Don't get too fucking drunk. Don't get drunk up.
Just
Just put the mug in it and start drinking.
muttering and swaying, just cursing under her breath.
I was...
Freya, we have to leave at around 5 or 6.
No, you guys do. I don't.
Don't you care about Magnus?
Not anymore. You heard what that little crap said?
Well, we're not going with that little, whatever, crab? Is that what you said? Crab? We're not going with it. We're just gonna go in the same direction at the same time.
We're not walking with him. We're just going in that direction with him.
Yeah, we're just going to walk next to
It's
him.
not... Alright, that's not just the point. Magnus just said all that... Told that random arse. And said terrible things? Made you cry?
Magnus was upset. He was upset because we're talking about Elsie.
And so I should go. I should go out there and look for his sorry butt.
Well, yeah.
I thought I was trying to do good things. Is it wrong to help a little girl? Huh?
No, you need to find Magnus, and you just need to assure Magnus that even though you have a new friend, Magnus is still your best friend. Because, I was really nervous with Laverra having a new friend, but then I realized Laverra has 2 hands, so she can hold mine too.
Magnus was, he was just sad because he thought he was being replaced.
Let me tell you something. So I tried to help a little girl lose a friend. Tried to help an old lady. She drugged me. Tried to go look for a friend. Find out he talks to some random goblin. And so guess what? I get a big mouthful of crap tossed at me. I'm done with this.
You don't mean this, Freya. Just like how Magnus didn't mean what he said to kill.
How do I know that? How do you know that?
Because Magnus is your best friend, Freya.
Well, let me tell you about friends. Let me tell you about people who are close to you. You know, I had a dad. You know what he did? He kidnapped me and my siblings, forced us out into the woods, beat us up, had us fight bears, just for food. And you know what? After we were all said and done, he abandons us. We go home, see my mother, and she's gone too. Am I supposed to be chasing everyone in this godforsaken land?
Maybe you don't have to chase. Mia's like awkwardly starting to hug Freya. Maybe you just come with us because we love you and you're our friend, but we need your big hammer even if it scares us.
Just leave me alone.
Mia's in full hug right now.
I gently push you away. Mia.
That doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah.
Laverra,
Just leave me alone.
Laverra kind of gently takes her wing and tries to rub it against Freya's back.
Don't touch me. Not in the mood.
Would you like to pet Apollo?
I just need to be alone. I drop my mug in the barrel and just walk off.
Aww.
The ogre and the halfling kind of look up. Did she just leave the... Okay. Well, we'll reseal it for her if she comes back. The ogre kind of picks up the lid and puts it back on the barrel. Pushes it all closed and then kind of stuff it underneath the counter. It seems like you've got a lot of things going on. I hope it gets better for you.
Laverra kind of... She lets Apollo finish drinking the water as much as he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of looks up at Mialee and she's like, should we go after her? Or should we just go back to the tavern?
I think Freya needs to be alone. I remember older sister getting like this once because she was sad. And I think if Freya's like the older sister, Freya just kind of needs to be sad.
So Freya, where are you going?
Just wandering. Is it dark now?
It's pushing that way. It's heading that way. It's not quite 5 o'clock yet, but it's going to be soon. And that kind of inevitably leads to dusk, but the sun is hanging a little bit lower in the sky.
Okay. I'm just gonna be wandering around the town, just being ticked off.
Is sure?
And sad.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I think we should probably just go back to the pig and check on Elsie and Saxifrage. Make sure they're okay.
Yeah, we can check on them for a little bit. But it's close to 5 o'clock, so we should probably meet Kildare somewhere soon. Or be there a little bit after he leaves.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you guys make your way back to the rival pig. You see Saxifrage, Elsie, and Malaz still up in the room. Elsie's kind of been exploring some of the area of the tavern. But they're there to greet you in the room. Where is Freya?
She's upset right now.
She's very sad, and we're giving her space because sometimes people just need space to be sad.
Did something bad happen to Magnus?
No, Magnus
is just kind of mean.
Oh.
He told a goblin at the Knights of Renai that we were awful, and then he left on a trip, on a job, and so now we're gonna follow the little goblin to wherever Magnus is going. So that we could find Magnus. But then Freya got drunk and sad. So now Freya's just drunk and sad.
That sounds right. But usually she isn't sad about it. Usually she's just drunk. So, when we find Magnus again, how can we show him that we appreciate him?
Well, we could make a card, huh, Mialee? Would that show him that we appreciate
I can't
him?
write. So I don't know if I can make a card.
I can write.
I can.
And then you can decorate it.
I'll find him the prettiest leaf for the card.
But if he is being mean, as you say, and scaring off our muscle with Freya, do we really want him back?
Yeah, no. See, it's like what my younger brother would do sometimes. Sometimes my younger brother would get mad because Squirrel likes my older brother better, so younger brother would kick him in the kneecaps.
That sounds like Magnus.
So we just need to, remind Magnus that we love him, but maybe that when he's sad and jealous, he needs to do something besides kick people in the kneecaps with his words.
Malaz kind of turns his head all the way around to face you guys. I think you're all being really petty about this. We come along and replace Magnus as the Red One's best friend. He gets mad, runs away. Freya gets mad, runs away. You all get mad, run away, and leave me and Elsie by ourselves again. But this time, we're in a new place. Somewhere we don't recognize. Because you said you'd help us. And now we have to sit and take the blame for all of the melodramatic bullcrap that you're going through. Poor Elsie here has been blaming herself this entire time. But whose fault is it really? We were fine until you thought you offered us something better. Took us away from everything we know. And for what? If it would ease everyone's headaches, Elsie and I will go back home. Because we would hate to see another family torn apart like hers was. He turns his head back and stares out the window with Elsie.
Laverra kind of looks at Mialee and Sax, and she's just kind of dumbfounded. And she's just like, I mean, I don't want him to go back there, because then we get in trouble because we fixed the thing. But also, Elsie needs to be raised around people like me, but we can't do that right away because of Magnus. And also Freya's sad. It's too much conflict.
Mia, seeing that Lavera's upset, is going to, gather all of her courage, and she's going to look directly at Melaz. Look, families fight sometimes, okay? I don't expect you to understand because you are just a friend. But families fight. But that doesn't mean they don't love each other, and it doesn't mean they don't blame each other. Wait, no, that doesn't mean they do blame each other. But the fact of the matter is, if you run and you hide, you're hurting Elsie more than you're hurting us, which is what it feels like you're trying to do with your words. So, you either apologize to Laverra for being whatever it was that you were doing that made her sad, or you buck up and you come with us. I'm gonna go find Magnus.
And the red one, Freya, we will find her as well.
Well, yeah, but she's not hard to find.
Yeah, she's big and red, so it's not that hard to find.
We didn't lose her, she just went to a different place, that's all.
Warning there, please? Make it sound like I just died.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I did, I don't know.
She went to a better place.
Malaz stands up on the bed. Then let's go. Right? It's what we do now. And begins walking out the door. Elsie kind of darts her eyes at each one of you, and then rushes after him and follows him.
Laverra.
We don't know where we're going.
Laverra grabs Mialee's hand and walks out with her.
Okay. Saxifrage follows, and eventually you guys make your way out of the tavern. Freya, where have you ended up?
Alright, so is it dark now?
It's close.
It's close.
Very, very close.
Alright, well. Find myself. But, do they have any parks in?
Parks?
Yeah, just.
There's some kind of bigger areas within the city that house some different foliage, and there's more gardens than there are parks. But yeah.
Alright, well. Essentially, I find a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And with anger, I'm just so angry and emotional. I just don't think and just start punching it until my right fist starts to bleed. Mm-hmm. And then I keep punching it and tears are starting to fall down my face. And then I grab the tree with both my hands and slam my head. Not too hard, just...
Knock yourself unconscious.
No.
No.
I set my head on it and just start crying. Mm-hmm. And I slide down. And I ask, and you just think about, my mother. And just start saying, I can't do this. I'm such a screwed up mom.
After a while, you feel a small hand on your back. And you turn and you look, and it's not a face you recognize. Very round and kind of cherubic, with a button nose, and probably about Magnus's height. A gnomish gentleman, kind of a mop of curly brown hair on his head. Mm-hmm. Are you mad at that tree, son?
No, I'm mad at the tree.
You're gonna be alright.
Yeah, well, you always say that. My mother always told me that. My older brother always told me that. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, it's definitely true. So you're big, strong, could probably punch down that tree if you wanted to. But that's not the thing that makes the difference. It's up here, and he taps his head. And in here, and he taps his chest. That make the true differences. Your brain, all the decisions you make and things you choose to do, and that heart that guides you.
If all the things I choose just lead to just... There's more people getting hurt, like my friends getting hurt. And I just...
Things always seem to hurt the worst. Right before they set back into place and start to get better. Have you ever broken a bone? I assume you have.
Maybe a few. I lost count.
When you break a bone, or it falls out of place, you gotta put it back, right? So you reset it. And that hurts like a son of a bitch. But that's the only way it's going to heal. So, sometimes things are dark, of course. But if your heart's in the right place, and your head's in the right place, then everything's going to turn out fine. You don't have to have faith in the gods or anything, just faith in yourself. And, well, for 5 gold, you can read more about it in this book. And he kind of pulls out his shirt.
I was waiting for it!
He pulls out a small book from inside of his shirt pocket. But if you're not in the mood to buy, that's fine too.
And I'm like, you know, you had me going, and then you ruined it.
After some time, you guys do eventually come across Freya talking to this this gnomish gentleman. You guys see them just kind of knelt in front of one of the larger trees in this garden area. Not too far off from where you left her. But this gentleman puts the book back into his shirt pocket. I'm just trying to help. You seemed in distress, and it sounds like you know before, but I don't know. I don't even know you. And he starts to walk away from you. But the rest of the party kind of replaces him in your field of view. You see Mialee, Sax, and Laverra, and Apollo, and Elsie, and Malaz kind of all stand in your field of view. Malaz kneels his face really, really close to yours, grabs you by the back of your armor, and pulls you up to standing. We're going, and you're coming with us, so let's go. You feel just the bones of his skeletal hand kind of creeping down the back of your armor to pull you up.
Don't touch me. What? Hey.
Yeah, she's very angry.
Nah.
Are you feeling better now, Freya?
I guess. A little. Yeah. I'll be fine.
Laverra wraps her wing around Freya in kind of a hug.
I hug back.
You guys notice as the sun begins to set even further, it's pushing about 5:30, maybe even 6 o'clock by now. You should probably make your way to the north gate if that's the way you're going. So, is that what you guys do?
Yeah.
Alright. So, make your way to the north.
Oh man, If there's anybody who's wanting to follow me, they better do it now. Kill is just sort of like marching
want to follow,
very
but
slowly.
you seem to be going in a good direction.
Saxifrage looks at you. I thought we were going to follow.
Shamia kind of waves her hand like, shush, shush.
It's just, why are we saying one thing and doing something else?
I don't know, but it's working, so shush.
He doesn't like us very much, so we're not following him. And Laverra kind of does the air quote thing.
Malaz kind of cracks his mouth open. I can see where he's coming from. But you tend to grow on people.
Kill marches off.
You guys follow? Through the north gates of Lorvale, pushing your way. Kill, what does the path look like? Is it kind of overgrown and crowded as you make your way off the beaten trail, or is it a pretty well-traveled path at the start?
At the start, it's definitely like a main road leading out of the north gate. And then at a certain tree, Kill looks straight up, notices a marker, and turns directly left into the wilds.
Okay. So, you guys follow Kill. How long do you march? Kill.
Marches probably until midnight,
Okay.
and then he makes a little camp. Makes it high up in one of the trees and just makes a little hammock up there.
So yeah, after a good probably 6 hours of marching through what has kind of become this overgrown portion of the Moon Wilds, and you've traveled through the Moon Wilds quite a bit at this point, so you're pretty familiar with what to expect from the foliage and things like that. Some of the local fauna in the area just kind of passing you by, and some of it taking notice of Apollo and rushing off into the forest further and deeper. And you do see Kill setting up their hammock and camp, basically, up high in the trees.
Laverra kind of gathers everybody. She's like, all right, everybody in. I'm going to cast Tiny Hut now. So now we can all sleep in our own little hut.
So you cast the spell. The hut envelops you guys, and you find yourselves ready for a night rest. I assume the same situation where you leave Saxifrage in their sentry mode and drift off to sleep as normal. But yeah, for you guys, the night passes pretty uneventfully. Kill so high up you can see some of the stranger things within the Moon Wilds taking shape across the sky. Some larger birds and what you would swear would be a dragon here and there, dotting the night sky, flying overhead, till eventually you find rest as well. Are you doing a full long rest? Full 8 hours, or?
Nope, he's gonna leave as soon as day breaks around 6.
Okay.
He like wakes up, checks around, makes sure nothing's in particular's watching or anything shady, and then makes sure to make a lot of noise to let the others know that he's waking up and moving on.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
10.
Okay. You don't seem to notice anything too out of the ordinary. Just some local wildlife doing their general morning thing. And yeah, as you shake the branches and kind of noisily get yourself up, you see the Warforged form of Saxifrage begin to move autonomously and kind of begin to wake the rest of you guys up. The small goblin that we are not following is on the move, so we should probably do the same. You guys wake up and you head off
Yes, sir.
toward the north, toward the base of the Grizzblade Mountains, in the same direction that you imagine Magnus has also done. And with that, even though it's a little bit shorter than usual, I think we're going to call tonight's episode. Alright. If anyone has any announcements or anything, usually it'll go friend care tip, self-help tip, promotion, weird animal fact.
Yeah.
I don't have a good...
Coco, you want to do a friend care
Yeah.
tip since Andrew's gone?
Oh,
A friend care tip, so being nice to other people tip.
yeah. I guess I'll go first.
Yep,
Who's
that's
it?
how it goes.
Okay, so friend care tip. If you get in a fight with a friend, you know, just cool off, you know, and then go talk to them. And, you know, even if you're not in the wrong, you just apologize and let bygones be bygones. Because I know that there's been stubborn people in my life that have hurt me, but once I got over myself and everything, I went and talked to them, and they felt bad too. And so it just, sometimes you just gotta be that person to go and talk to your friend. And after that, you know, you guys will be friends again and everything will be better.
So long story short, talk to people and clear up misunderstandings because your life is not a D&D game and it should not be like a sitcom.
Alright, so the self-care tip for this week is maybe step out of your comfort zone. Like, however far you want to go. Like, I know recently in my theater club, we actually did improv. And I'm not that good at improv. Like, I'm kind of good at improv, but that's only, like, with D&D.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you know you do improv literally every week?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna call you out right now, so.
But it's different in front of, like, a stage of people.
Yeah.
And, like, knowing that, you know, Dester's not gonna edit us down.
Yeah.
Edit that out. Can't let them know.
And that was definitely, like, a step out of my comfort zone. Like, acting in front of stage people and other actors and just having that experience, but also having that experience of, like, stepping out of my comfort zone and not having, like, a script with me during that kind of theater performance. So my self-care tip is step out of your comfort zone, but only as far as you want to.
Fair enough. You can follow Bard Time Stories on Instagram, on Tumblr, on Twitter. Twitter, I believe, is where we will be doing most of our giveaways. That may be coming up here soon, so that's something to think about. We may be giving away some prints of the characters by our lovely artist Coco the Coco. Coco the Coco.
I'm gonna have to change my name now.
Your first name is Coco, your middle name is The, and your last name is Coco. How do you feel?
Well, I go by online Coco the Debbie, but on DeviantArt, but I might have to change it to Coco the Coco. I actually like that.
So, art by Coco the
Coast to
Coco.
coast,
Follow
Coco
us.
the Coco.
Oh yeah, with Space Ghost. We're going retro here. Also, you can follow us on Facebook. We're not terribly interactive there, but you can. It's good time.
Wow, yeah, good plug.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody there to interact with us yet. Maybe if you join there, then you'll be the only one interacting with us, and we'll interact with just you.
Hey, if you want to interact with us, join us on Facebook, and we will interact with you.
No, we're pretty good about interacting with people right now.
Oh, God.
Stop it.
New episodes every Monday.
Yeah, and YouTube uploads every Friday.
Follow my Twitter at JasminGroove for some really awful promotion of this podcast. Thanks. Bye.
Wow.
Ready for an animal fact?
No.
C.
You go, girl.
Cows produce more milk while listening to slow music.
What?
It's like that baby grind on me.